as a student in social science, I've stopped doing what we usually called art science years ago. That's why my understanding of art science is pretty much stayed the same since high school. But this class made me realize how much art science is not really different than other sciences like social sciences. By art science, I mean formal and natural sciences like physics, maths, or biology. During my time in middle school and high school, these subjects were seen as undisputable because they were based on mathematical data and experimentation. I had no idea that there were some real controversies, as we have in social sciences, still today in those fields. So today in this video, I want to talk about what unites all sciences. And so first I want to speak about the weaknesses of art sciences. So my aim is not to criticize the way science works, but to point out the big misunderstandings and cliches that one people can have if it is not working in those fields. So of course I will not start to describe the entire words of science in this short video, but I want to give you an example of how exact science can be not so exact. The example that I choose is on the controversy around free will. So there is many theories surrounding free will in science. Some scientists think that we are completely determined by the laws of nature. There are the determinists. There is also the compatibilists who believe in the determination of the laws of nature, but still thinks that there is a sort of free will, and so on. There is lots and lots of theories. And the big deal is to see that experiments cannot put an end to debates between scientists. Indeed, they have trouble to test free will, in part because they don't really know what is free will. And so those parts of doubts that subsist in these exact sciences help to demystify these subjects. Acknowledging this area of doubts is not a problem for me. As far as I am concerned, I think it only makes science more exciting. And it also puts science on the same level as the rest of sciences, which are often seen as less rigorous because they are not based on mathematical principles. For me, what is really exciting is the help that other sciences can provide in those controversy that art sciences are facing. And so this is leading me to a second part about in which ways human and social sciences can help the art science. To look at science through a social or philosophical lens can be a way to take a step back and to think about the way that we do science. A lot of philosophers participated to understand the way that we do science. For example, with Kuhn's ideas, we describe science as a dynamical social process, or with lateral constructivism, it's an hard word. All those thinkers have in common that they think about doing science as we can think about doing any activities. I think it is a reminder for scientists that they cannot avoid being influenced by a lot of social elements outside the intellectual sphere. So for taking an example, I will talk about Arthur Eddington experiments. He wanted to test Einstein's general theory. So the connection and the results that Eddington got from his experiments weren't enough to confirm Einstein's theory. But he didn't take into account factors like temperature, vibration, and he also was concerned about two possible outcomes for his experiment. It was either way the Newton's point of view or Einstein's point of view. But even though there are clearly marks of lack of neutrality, Eddington was really attached to Einstein's theory. The scientific community accepted his results without asking any questions. And it is showing the role of the social community People believed Eddington because he was already having a strong academic and institutional credibility. And also, I think philosophers or people studying social science can give some answers to scientists. For instance, if you take back the first example, philosophers can help scientists because they are specialists about thinking about the true meaning of words. For example, the definition of free will is maybe the central problem for scientists today, and philosophers can give you a sort of clear definition of free will. And to conclude, I thought during a long time that science was a very distinct universe than human and social science. But as we saw, those are in fact connected in many ways. I have the growing conviction that all sciences are not so different and have a lot to give one to each other. It shows the importance of multidisciplinarity.